While I did not expect to be shooting a video right now, which explains why I'm dressed like this, but I had to cover this because this just happened and it is absolutely hilarious. Ron DeSantis attempted to announce his run for president on Twitter with Elon Musk, and it completely imploded. As I predicted yesterday, because of how much of a technical mess Twitter has been since Elon Musk took over. So I'm going to show you some clips in a second here. I'm going to get to more details around what happened. But they announced yesterday that Ron DeSantis was going to, or I should say it leaked to the press, I'm sure intentionally, that Ron DeSantis was going to announce his run for president on Twitter with Elon Musk. This big deal. A very brilliant move by Ron DeSantis to work with this tech billionaire to reach all the people on social media. Yeah, it did not work out at all. So first, this tweet here from Jordan Ewell and his clip, as I'll get to. Ron DeSantis Twitter Spaces campaign launch has so far featured several minutes of silence, random throat clearing, muffled commentary from Elon Musk about why Spaces isn't working, hosts including DeSantis disappearing. A great start to his campaign. So let me... there's no point playing all of this because a lot of it is just complete silence. This is a 2-minute clip, but I'll skip through it to show you what we can get from this. And then I'll get to some more in a bit here. But as you see it is playing, nothing happening so far. See if I could skip to a piece of audio.
There's 382,000 people in the room.
All right, great. So let's see.
So they just keep crashing, huh?
Yeah, I think we've got just a massive number of people online, so it's servers are straining somewhat.
Okay, so Elon Musk, they're saying the servers are straining somewhat. How do you not know before you make a partnership like this? How do you not know what your system can handle? How can you? And by the way, it's not like millions were even on here. I think the estimate is like 500,000 initially, and then 250 for pure audio. There's not even video to this. Like, this isn't, other websites had a handle on this stuff at least a decade ago. Twitter struggling with just purely live streaming audio. Unbelievable. So, look, we can skip around here. I'm not sure how much we can really get from this. Like, keep in mind again, as we hear nothing, it's some muffles, that this is a major presidential announcement, and this is how it's being handled. It's just a complete disaster. I hope at least today more conservatives are aware of how much of a joke Elon Musk is, but I'm skipping around here.
There's some delay. All right, we're just reallocating more server capability to be able to handle the load here. It's really going crazy.
You didn't think someone announcing their presidential run on Twitter with you was going to get a lot of an audience? Like, okay. So let's get to a short breakdown here on what went on. So sound from the live stream event, which was held on Twitter Space and hosted by owner Elon Musk and tech entrepreneur David Sachs, cut in and out for the first minutes after starting. We've got so many people in here that we are kind of melting the servers, Sachs said at one point. More than 500,000 Twitter users joined the event, which was ultimately ended and then restarted, delaying DeSantis' announcement by nearly half an hour. When the event was relaunched using Sachs' account, only around 250,000 users ultimately listened in. So this is a great recounting here from Amanda Traphouse. Ron DeSantis presidential announcement thread. Musk, I'd like to welcome Governor DeSantis. Silence. Musk, with an echo. I'd like to welcome Governor DeSantis. Silence. Musk, there's too many people. Silence. It's just for a presidential announcement. Like, it's one thing if they're, testing the servers It's another thing if you're doing this to welcome Ron DeSantis to announce his run for president of the world. So this is the 20-minute the initial 20 minutes of what was supposed to be the announcement. I tried skipping through this. Like, there's a lot of silence. So I'll link to this below. Maybe you can find something out of this, but it's silent for like 8 minutes. I think around the 8-minute mark, there's something. David Sachs tries to join and disappears. Comes back. There. By the way, that's their echo, not mine. That's their echo. I'm not gonna put you through that, but they're echoing there. Like, we're 8 minutes, 9 minutes in now.
In the history of social media. Tonight, I'm pleased to introduce two individuals who've done more to loosen the.
I didn't do that. He's talking and it cut out. Okay, I mean, I could sit here for 11 minutes and listen to the rest of this. DeSantis drops. This is so unbelievably embarrassing for these people. So it looks like there's Musk there alone for the vast majority of it. I guess that's when they restart it. Again, I link to all my sources below, under sources in the description box on YouTube, so you can listen through that madness if you want. But Matt Bender here, with his experience, saying the Musk DeSantis Twitter Spaces keeps crashing. It closed out my entire app twice. Speakers keep cutting out and dropping. There was only around 250,000 listeners when this happened. Again, this is not... When it comes to, like, you know, YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, they can handle this fine. And they do video as well as audio. This is just audio content. This is just live audio. And they're echoing, they're dropping out. Unbelievable. So this is the story behind Twitter Spaces and why this was a terrible idea from the start. Twitter Spaces product was not necessarily built to host events with hundreds of thousands of listeners. Most other Spaces have, at most, several hundred listeners at a time. Spaces was described as a prototype and janky by a former Twitter employee familiar with its development. Spaces was largely a prototype, not a finished product, the former employee told CNN. It's a beta test that never ended. They added that Spaces relies on a mix of Twitter's technical infrastructure and Amazon Web Services servers, things that aren't intended to handle Twitter scale traffic. How did Elon Musk not know this? Or maybe he did and just was like, it'll work out. What? The emperor has no clothes. He's just a total clown. His success is dependent completely on the people around him. And when you fire, you know, all the people working at Twitter, what do you think's going to happen? So Twitter has faced a variety of outages and technical issues since Musk took over the platform late last year. Shortly after acquiring the company, Musk laid off large numbers of technical and other staff and reduced Twitter server capacity in an effort to cut costs. As I said, Elon Musk's success is dependent completely on who's around him, and he fired everybody. So it failed. And last thing here, I predicted this. Only me. No, thousands of people on Twitter. I'm sure other shows predicted. Everyone that actually pays attention knows how much of a complete technical mess Twitter has been. So I just briefly, so I can, you know, toot my own horn here, show you this. If it even, like, Twitter is such a technical mess that I wouldn't be surprised if the Twitter Spaces interview that they're doing doesn't even work properly. If it, you know, goes offline, something happens, then there you go. And then I go on to say that they'll blame the left, which they may still do that. And they'll end up blaming the left. Oh, the left took it down. It was so that may still happen. But that first part of that prediction definitely came true. And it's not because I'm some brilliant individual. It's because I pay attention. Now, Ron DeSantis went on to officially announce on Twitter. Maybe I'll just bring this up briefly. I don't know if I care to show you his video. I haven't even watched it. I don't care about Ron DeSantis. Let me see. Here it is. So he did announce. I'm just putting a Ron DeSantis voice there. He did announce, I'm Ron DeSantis. I'm running for president to lead our great American comeback. I don't. Should have. Do I have to watch this? Maybe just a little bit. Just a little bit. Let's just see what we're gonna see here. Okay, wait. Predictions. He says woke at some point. Wokeness is destroying the country, something like that. The radical left. I'm sure that's in there somewhere. I don't know. Let's see what we're dealing with here.
Our border is a disaster. Crime infests our cities. The federal government makes it harder for families to make ends meet, and the president flounders. But decline is a choice. Success is attainable, and freedom is worth fighting for. Righting the ship requires restoring sanity to our society, normalcy to our communities, and integrity to our institutions. Truth must be our foundation, and common sense can no longer be an uncommon virtue.
I still contend he sounds like the rabbi from Seinfeld. I did a whole video on this. Like, he has the same cadence as the rabbi in Seinfeld. So, the guy doesn't have charisma. No charisma. Even in a pre-planned, scripted video.
In Florida, we proved that it can be done. We chose facts over fear, education over indoctrination, law and order over rioting and disorder. We held the line when freedom hung in the balance. We showed that we can and must revitalize America.
What is he even talking? They banned books. They're like, what freedom? You're restricting the rights of individuals living in your state. What freedom? Notice how everything is incredibly vague. There's no specifics. This is a very standard, typical politician kind of announcement. Like, seeing this, I'm thinking he's actually going to do even worse than I initially thought.
We need the courage to lead and the strength to win. I'm Ron DeSantis, and I'm running for president.
Wait, it's Ron DeSantis. Not DeSantis? Ron DeSantis. I gotta change that. It's Ron DeSantis.
And I'm running for president to lead and the strength to win. I'm Ron DeSantis, and I'm running for president to lead our great American comeback.
I'm Ron DeSantis, and I'm running to lead our great American comeback. Okay. All right. that was very much nothing. So I don't know if anything, maybe the Twitter Spaces announcement was better than whatever the hell that just was. But yeah, he's not going to do well. That's my prediction. Maybe I'll be wrong, but as long as Trump is in the race, Trump has charisma. You may not like him. I don't like him. I think he's terrible, but he has charisma. He can be funny. He can appear personable. Ron DeSantis is none of those things. And when it comes to Republican primary voters, they don't care about issues. They don't care about anything. All they care about is what they're feeling. So when they see Trump, stepping on everybody, making a big mess, making the most noises, being funny, in their minds funny, that's appealing to those voters. Ron DeSantis does not have any of that. I don't know how long. As long as Trump is in the race, I really do not know how long this is going to last.